Hey, before we start with the main video, I would like to thank you the following companies for their support. They support me through the YouTube membership program that I created for companies who care about software testing and are active in supporting the testing community. Thank you once again. If you want to learn more about the supporters, check the video description down below to find the links to their products. If you miss your logo on this page, follow the QR code or send me an email. Happy testing, and now back to the main video. Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Software Testing. It's me, Daniel. Happy that you're here today. Today I would like to talk about what is non-functional testing. And I think if you have seen many of my videos already, I'm more or less talking almost, not in every video for sure, but in many videos about non-functional testing, and that this is so important when it comes to overall holistic software quality. And that's why I thought like, hey, I haven't talked about non-functional testing explicitly, and that's why I'm here today talking about the topic for you today. So let's get right into the topic. What is non-functional testing? So yes, what is non-functional testing? It's a type of software testing to check aspects such as the performance of an application, usability of an application, reliability of an application, the accessibility of an application, or the security of an application. Yeah. So as you can see, the main focus are areas of a product that are not directly associated with the quality, with the functionality, sorry, or with the main features. That's what I wanted to say. And if you take a look at your user stories, your epics that you are seeing in your team, in your organization, I'll bet that many of the product managers or the requirements engineers or whoever is responsible for writing those tests, not those tests, but those tickets, they are mainly focused on features. Hey, we need to implement the new login. We need to implement a new checkout process. We need to implement X, Y, Z. But many of those tickets or the requirements, they're not covering the non-function aspects as we have seen here. So there's little to less information about, let's talk about performance or how stable our application should be to cover millions of requests per second. So which load can the application take? Or security topic. It's a huge thing. I mean, if you're not investing in security aspects, you might lose your complete business. If a security breach is going to happen to your organization, to your product, users are really going away. They're likely to go to a competitor, to another service, and you are gone, basically. So that's why non-functional aspects are really important for you to think about from day zero already, being it usability, accessibility, and so forth. I mean, usability is usually the one thing that is in everybody's mind, especially product managers, because they would like to build a product that is usable by the users. But as I just said, there's more to think about in the product development phases and also in the testing phases. And if you are working in an agile development team, for example, and you have the power to bring in topics, raise the questions in refinements or in 3 Amigo sessions or in early product discovery phases like, hey, what's about the product performance? What about the load testing? How about security? How about accessibility? Are those topics that we have to cover? Do we have people with impairments among our user base and stuff like that? Ask the questions and see how the people react, and then act accordingly, right? Non-functional testing is really important for the overall success of a product. That's the last bullet point, I think, for that slide. That's for sure. I mean, if you have like a product that you would like to build, these are like non-functional requirements or non-functional things are usually like implicit stuff that we expect from an application. We expect that a product is fast. We expect that a product is usable. We expect that the product is secure. But are we doing something in order to achieve that? Is expecting something from an application? So this is really why you should take a look at the video for sure. Share it with your product people also in case you haven't done so far. And yeah, do something for non-functional requirements. Yeah, and there's the last bullet for this slide. So, and often teams, they start too late with non-functional testing or thinking about the non-functional requirements. Imagine you were working for, let's say, weeks or months on a bigger new feature that you would like to ship for your customers soon. And then in the very last stage of the development and testing phases, you find out that the application is not secure enough, or it is not performant enough, so it cannot cover multi-million user requests per second or something like that. You notice that right before the release. That's a nightmare. And then you dig in, you have like war rooms, sit together, like what we can do in order to achieve the requirements that we never talked about in the beginning. And then in worst case, you might find out that you have to rewrite the whole application because the architectural tech stack that you implemented is not made for a performant application. It's not made for security, and this is bad. And to be honest, you don't want to be in the seat and being responsible of telling your boss, telling the upper management, telling your stakeholders, or in worst case, telling your customers that you have to delay the release of the most wanted feature for another half year because you made an easy mistake too late, right? I mean, you just have thought about the non-functional requirements too late. So that's why think about them early enough in your company. So what are objectives of non-functional testing? So non-functional testing should increase the usability. I mean, that's what we just already talked about. The security, the accessibility, the maintainability, and more of the product, right? So how easy it is, for example, I haven't talked about maintainability, but there's more, how easy it is for you, for your peers, for the company to maintain an application, to extend it. And this is also something, because usually when we talk about non-functional requirements, we have usability, security, accessibility in mind, maybe load and performance. But something like maintainability and others are not there and could be covered too, yeah? So if done right, it will help to reduce the development risks and costs. Yes. If you take a look at the whole set of non-functional requirements that an application can have, overall will reduce the development costs and the risks for sure, and especially the risks. I mean, again, mitigating risk is so important because you go live, you have a security breach, it can be the end of the company, for example. So that's why think early about them for the product aspects, yeah, and also plan the non-functional testing early in the process too. I mean, in case you're bringing up the non-functional requirements, you talk about accessibility, security, and stuff like that early on in the product discovery or in refinement sessions, stuff like that. Still, you need to allocate time to perform those testing activities because usually they take more time than just manual testing or just testing the features that you are going to implement, right? Especially if you work towards the security. Many of us are not security experts, and security is just a big field of things that can go wrong and that has to be checked, stuff like that. So I would recommend you to get access, not only access, but you get help from experts that can check for security. And that would mean that you have like external people coming to your team, joining for your team for like a couple of weeks and months to do some security checks for you. And this takes time. So think about early enough in the process about it. So what are characteristics of non-functional testing? So non-functional testing must be quantifiable. So when describing non-functional aspects, don't use words such as better, best, or should. So we need to have a better security. We need to have the best performance. We need to have, I don't know, whatever. Yeah. So really have something quantifiable. That's important. Yeah. Make it precise as possible. But it's not easy to define those KPIs for non-functional requirements at the start of the project, because sometimes over the course of the time when you work on a project, things might change, and also you have to adapt the KPIs. But what you can do, for example, in terms of like load and performance testing, you can see like what are best practices out there, like how fast an API should react, how fast and responsive a mobile application should be, how reliable a database structure should be, and stuff like that. So if you have the data already there, you can define your KPIs, your personal KPIs for your product yourself, and then of course adjust them accordingly. Yeah. Again, talk early about non-functional requirements. I think it's on every slide now. Maybe it's coming in one more time. Check it out. But it cannot mentioned enough. So really talk early about those things, because when it's too late usually. And And then, of course, focus on the most important non-functional aspects for your product. I mean, you have seen a list of things that you can do or you could do, and it doesn't mean that you have to do it. Yeah? So in case you are working on a product that has no people with impairments that you know in your customer base, the main focus would not be accessibility, right? It would be maybe usability, load performance, and security. So really, it depends on your product, and it's not possible to just say, okay, you have to do this and that because of. Doesn't make sense. Yeah. So here are 6 non-functional testing parameters for you to know. The first one, security, as we already talked about, it defines how secure the system is. Focus on internal and external intrusions. So think like a hacker if you can, like really see what you can do in terms of to bypass security aspects, to trick the system and to sneak into your databases and stuff like that. Yeah. Efficiency. So how efficient a system can handle all incoming and outgoing requests. This means like in terms of speed, in terms of balancing the loads, but also in terms of like how efficient the system allocates storage, for example. Is it able to scale let's say in a cloud environment and stuff like that. So these was one parameter. The third parameter is like the reliability. Defines the consistency a system can perform a specific task without any problems. So how reliable is it? Do we have like 99.9% uptime, or do we have some hiccups in specific time frames, maybe in the morning when we have a peak on the usage or and stuff like that. So really, reliability is something. Or how reliable is the system in case we just switch off a server, for example, or we change some configurations, things like that. Yeah. Usability, we talked about it already, defines the simplicity of the system, how easy it is for users to use a product. Yeah. Availability defines the overall stability of the product, like how available is it. This goes really hand in hand for me for availability into reliability, really tightly connected. And users expect the product to be available. I mean, including myself, if I go to some services that I'm going to use and it's not available, it's like, oh, come on, I just wanted to do something really quick and easy, and now it's not available. I don't like it. Yeah. And then another one is the scalability aspect. So defines how a system can be scaled on demand during high loads. Also one parameter that you can think of. Yeah. So that's important to also keep in mind when talking about non-functional testing parameters. And here you can see some types of non-functional testing, and I will not go into every of these aspects, and you can see it's a lot of stuff that you can already perform as a software tester. So we talked about performance testing and load testing and security testing. You can do some compatibility testing, which is a hard word for me, sorry for that. So is your application compatible with other devices, with other environments, stuff like that. Usability, we talked about it. Stress testing, how many requests it can handle in order to it fails and stuff like that. Maintainability, we talked about. Failover testing, volume testing, documentation testing, like, hey, how is your application well documented from an internal and an external perspective. Also something that is not really tightly connected to the functionality, but it might help a user in case of he or she is new to a service and he or she would like to know how to install something, and that's really important. Disaster recovery testing, how easy it is to recover a system in case of a failure, also from an internal and external perspective. Compliance testing, do we have to be compliant with some rules, some laws in specific industries? Scalability, we talked about it. Portability, can I port it to some other applications, other tech stack? Efficiency, reliability. Endurance testing, is the application made for endurance performance, like let's say 24/7. Yeah, can the application run 24/7 or every day in the year? You know, that's something that you can test. Recovery, it's more or less like disaster recovery, similar to that. Internationalization testing and localization testing. So is your application working with different character sets, with different languages, but also with different patterns, like how you use a product, for example, in different industries or in different countries. Something that you should keep in mind when talking about non-functional testing. And I could easily do one video per one of these testing types. Let me know in the comments if you would be interested if I should deep dive more in those aspects. Yeah, if you're interested, I can think about it. So as you can see, there are a lot of types that you can think of when it comes to non-functional testing. It goes beyond the classical performance, security, accessibility, usability. There's more that you can do. Yeah. So what are the big advantages of non-functional testing? And maybe you can guess it already. I mean, overall, it's a better product. If you think about non-functional requirements, depending on your product, overall you will get a better product, happier customers, better numbers, and so forth. You will gain more customers in case you are doing it right, especially with accessibility. I mean, imagine you invest a lot of time and money in accessibility aspects and rules and things, and you could like easily increase your customer base. I mean, I think there are more than 2 billion people on this planet with have some sort of impairments, and in many cases those users are like locked out, and you can put them in, you can include them, and this can grow more customers. Happy customers, question mark, yes, they might be happier in case you do like more performance stuff, but this is usually something that users expect. They expect a usable app, they expect a performant application, they expect to have a security in place. But overall, if you do it right and they never complain of those aspects, you cannot really measure the happiness of this. But in case something is going on maybe on the competitor side of things, they might be even saying, okay, hey, I never faced an issue on that application. I'm happy. Yeah? So this is something that you can see. Of course, a more secure product, also from an internal and external perspective. More mature development environment, also something that that comes hand in hand when you think more about non-functional requirements in your application. But also you can take a look at like how efficient are you developing your product. Do you have any useless processes in your development chain, in the code review and stuff like that? So you can also improve that, your work with non-functional requirements, and this will make a much mature development environment. Yeah, and this goes hand in hand with the efficient product development process. You can also improve the processes to be much better. Yeah, and these were the advantages of non-functional testing, and we're coming already to an end of the video. So what do you think about it? What do you think about non-functional testing? Are you performing non-functional testing in your company, in your team, for your product? Let me know down below in the comments. I would really love to read them to see what are you doing in terms of non-functional testing. As always, like it, share it, and subscribe it to support me. Thanks for coming by today. Have a great day and see you soon.